everyone, this is Melissa for Imagine Today, and I'm just going to jump right into this tutorial. I'm making a shaker card today, but I'm using VersaColor pigment ink, which I've never used before. And I wanted to see how well this pigment ink would blend together because it's quite creamy on the ink pad. And so I start with Canary in a large sponge dauber, and I put that color down, and then I'm also taking Scarlet and blending that color down with a large sponge dauber. Now I apologize, my sponge dauber, I keep looking at it because this was the last one I had, and it had a little bit of blue ink on it, and I didn't want to blend that in with my red. And now I'm going back to the Canary and blending the two fronts for the VersaColor so that I get this beautiful orange transition. And you guys, because pigment ink takes a little bit longer to dry, it has this amazing property where you can get this beautiful blend between two colors, and it works quite nice. And the other thing that's nice about it is you have a lot of dye inks out there like Memento that react with water, but the pigment inks don't, which is nice because now I'm taking some fireworks spray in Tangelo and just simply splashing that onto my card. And then I'm also taking some rich cocoa because I really wanted a beautiful fall kind of scene happening here. And so I'm just removing the spray top and flicking it so that I'm getting these beautiful splotches on the background. And I have to say, I love how the color, the VersaColor pigment just stays put and that fireworks lays right over top. And you get this beautiful blended fall background. So now I'm taking some Tarot tape and I'm going to be adding that to my panel and adhering it to the center of my card. This paper that I used today is a Bristol smooth paper, and Bristol smooth paper works really nice anytime you're using a lot of water or ink because it can take that without too much warping. I add my Tarot tape and peel off the back, and then again I center it on my A2 size card base. An A2 size card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and so my panel there has been cut with a die cut so that it's about 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around. I'm going to be using this adorable Hello Bluebird stamp set, but I decide that I need to tone down that bright red and orange and yellow background with a little bit of this desert sand fireworks spray. And I spray it onto my another piece of Bristol Smooth, and I use my heat tool to dry it up a little bit, and then I add some more and dry it up and add some more and dry it up. And then I decided to take my paper towel just to remove some of it so I can get this really soft, shimmery, beautiful background. And I take a die to cut out a frame for that desert sand panel. And this is going to be the frame for my shaker card. And you see here I'm debating a little bit about what I need. I still think the background needs toned down just a bit. So I'm going to cut out a piece of white cardstock, and this will act as my base for my shaker card. So I'm going to adhere an acetate panel to that frame using my Tarot tape, and then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back, which you can see there to the side. And then on that white panel, I'm simply going to add all of my beads and sequins in different colors to give myself a nice shaker card. So the trick with a shaker card is to make sure you have enough of those beautiful sparkly things in the center so that you really get a nice shake, and you can also see all of the beautiful things that are in there. And so now that I have the frame adhered over the shaker part, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this frame to the card base so that the shaker part is centered right in the middle. And again, I'm using my Tarot tape to adhere this panel down, and I simply tear off the backing and then I'll center that right on that card base. And that makes our beautiful shaker. So now I want to add my happy birthday sentiment. So I'm going to be using chocolate brown Stays On pigment ink, and I'm going to ink that stamp up. Now I would recommend stamping on the acetate ahead of time instead of once it's on the shaker because it's a lot easier to get a really good impression. I did have to ink that stamp up a couple of times in order to get a nice impression since there wasn't a lot of support behind that acetate. Now I'm using my On Point glue. It works fabulous for adhering these little critters to my acetate background. And I've completed today's shaker card. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and you'll join us again at Imagine for more great projects and inspiration. Before you leave today, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get updated every time we upload new videos here at Imagine.